radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
All right, welcome. Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio for the masses. Yeah. How you doing? Today's Thursday, February 7th, 2019. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black, and as always, we are broadcasting live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. How you doing? For KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I'm in a great mood. It's a great day today. Beautiful day. Unbelievably wonderful, perfect, informative, just a beautiful day. I mean, seriously, I can't put it into words. So I'm going to do it right here in this tweet. What a great day. Seriously, just a beautiful day. It's one of those days today where it started off on the right foot and continued down that path, and just got lots of stuff done and lots of really cool phone calls and I ate well and I drove around and I did things and got stuff done, and just an informative day, very informative day too as well. So it was just wonderful, perfect. I haven't been in this good of a mood before a Thursday night Fader night in forever. And then what do I get to do? On the heels of just a great day, now it's 4 minutes after 7 p.m. on the West Coast, and I get to hang out with all of you and take phone calls all night and just find out what's on your mind. Yeah. That's it. It's going to be a great day. Great night. Open lines all night long. And before we get to that, let me just say, the new phone number. Well, we've had it now for a couple of weeks, but, just in case you've missed the show, you didn't get the news. The new phone number is 747-228-2051. All right, we've got new refrigerator magnets, and so we'll get you the Fade to Black 747-228-2051. And you can put it on your refrigerator. So you wake up in the morning, you get your stuff, and you're pouring the cream in your River Moon coffee. And the last thing, you're like, there it is, 747-228-2051. Yes. Yes. So that's it, 747-228-2051. And I don't know if you guys can hear this. I can kind of hear it. But there's a thing that goes on, and it's with, I can silence it. It's the springs. Yeah, what you hear It's the springs. I am so loud in here that my voice vibrates the springs on my mic stand. So I put tape around them, right? And they've, you hear that? Okay, so that's what's getting But I put tape around it, and it's silenced them pretty much, but it's still there, and there's like this weird right, that happens from the springs. And I don't know what to do. Maybe I should put like rubber tubing down. Oh, that would work. But see, the problem with it is if I move this, right, you can hear it at one point. Hear that? Hear that? That's the tape around the springs getting caught up. So I don't know what to do, man. I got too loud of a voice. So, ooh. And this is professional radio gear from Tascam, and it's supposed to be perfectly silent so you can do this during the show and not make any noise, but instead I got this. You gotta love it. Oh, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. All right. Tonight's Fader Night. It's open lines all night long. All right. Now you can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I got calls coming in already. Man, did I turn them on? Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna mess with somebody right now. This is what you call cooking, right? You cook somebody on hold. So this person's going to be on hold for the next exactly 29 minutes. And they're listening to me right now. Yeah, I'm warning you. You called in now. You can sit on hold for the next 29 minutes. It's called cooking. Let's see if they hang in. If they hang tough. If they hang tough for 29 minutes, I'll let them be first. All right. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's what you want to do, at JChurchRadio. And maybe you won't get blocked on Twitter. That's the good news. Okay? So hang out on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. What a great night we had last night on the show with Twitter. And my guest being you, the sandbox. That's a lot of fun. And I can see that because we've only done it once before. Now we've done it twice. So much fun and so much interaction. I could see that being a regular thing, maybe once a month. I think that's a safe thing to do. We'll do it once a month. I don't want to wear it out, but that is a lot of fun. It melts my brain, right? And Rita told me last night, she said, 60 seconds. Limit your answer to 60 seconds. So if I read a question, it takes 15 seconds. I answer in 60 seconds. That means, and I did the math, that means approximately 50, 100, 150 questions per show. That melts your brain. That's like an SAT test. That is just like mind-numbing. And I was cool until the last 15 minutes of the show last night. And suddenly, the adrenaline, everything just ran out of my body. I wasn't able to think anymore. I couldn't read. I forgot how to read. I didn't know what a noun or a verb was. I didn't know what a letter was. I didn't know how to move my mouth. It was like that. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So if I went with Rita's rules, can you imagine answering verbally 100 questions in 2.5 hours? That's crazy. That's a lot of fun, though. I really enjoyed it. All right, so follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Hashtag F2BQ is the Fade to Black questions. If you have any questions or comments, post them right there. Okay? Still got tacos, though. I did last night. That was a pretty cool. Okay, so when I did that selfie last night at the taco truck, we leave the bunker, and I went to my favorite taco truck. And I'm taking the selfie, and I posted it. And that's when I looked, and Mario, the chef of the truck, is in the background photobombing my selfie. I was hoping to get him, chopping the carne asada on the grill. No, not Mario. That was cool. Somebody repost that. That was a cool picture. That was absolutely hilarious. All right. Okay. So, man, questions? Okay. You know what? I'm going to line up everybody right here. So, look, if you're on hold, stay right there. If you're listening to me right now, if you are on hold, stay right there. I'm putting everybody on hold. Okay? All right. I'll just line up everybody, and then we'll just go live at the bottom of the hour. Breaking news. Oh, email throughout the show, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Breaking news. We posted this earlier today. That was a crazy news day, wasn't it? Pretty crazy on Twitter and YouTube and mainstream media. Pretty nutty day. But you woke up to... Oh, thank you for that. Okay, I'm going to redo that right now. Thank you, John. Frankie Four Fingers. That's the picture of Mario in the taco truck. There he is, right there. Thank you for that. Is this. You woke up to my first post of the day, which was the top 50 talk show host for 2018 was released earlier today on Radio Inc. magazine. And I came in at number 15 this year, or for last year. Number 15. Pretty cool, right? So now that's not, okay, yeah, number 15, that's pretty cool. All right. But if you go and look at who is around me. That's some pretty impressive company. And it's a very humbling thing for me to see my name there grouped with all of those. I'm ahead of Joe Piscopo. That's all that matters. Remember Joe? Anyway, that's what you woke up to today. And then also, breaking news. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby back in the news because this morning he was moved to Gen Pop. That's right. He was moved to general population in prison. He was housed in a special unit for the last 4 months. Now the real stuff starts, and what they were saying today is, for 4 months, he went through a psych evaluation. He went through a psych eval, and they got to figure out where they're going to, stick him and everything else. But when you are a sexual, you're in prison for sexual stuff. Are you PC'd up? Are you in protective custody? Is that what you do? Well, anyway, he's finding out what it's like. Bill Cosby today moved to Gen Pop in prison. Also today it was announced Sears will be keeping its doors open for a little while longer because today a judge approved a $5.2 billion auction for the company, and I think that is really good news. I don't want to see Sears go away. I don't want to see any brick and mortar go away. I want to see everybody figure out a way to survive in this internet Amazon world that we live in today. And the flip side to all of that, Walmart is certainly successful. Target isn't having any issues. They've figured out a way to coexist with the online world. And everybody, now Sears especially, right, needs to figure that out. So does JCPenney and so does Kmart. These are stores that I've been shopping at my entire life. It's what I grew up with. Going to the shopping mall when you were a kid. You know what I would do when I would go to the shopping mall? Right? Washington Square on the east side of Indianapolis. All right, Naptown, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, Washington Square, the easiest place to park was in front of Sears. That's where all the parking was. So we would park at Sears and walk through the store and get your way into the mall, right? And that's, you know what? I grew up with Sears. I don't want to see Sears go away. So they got a $5.2 billion auction going up for the company. There is a buyer, and he wanted this to happen. He's got $5.2 billion he's going to slap into the company. So let's make it happen. Now, a couple of months ago, there was a Florida high school student that got caught, well, apparently accused, I should say, for cheating on her SATs. Today it was announced that she has abandoned her fight to validate one of her SAT scores weeks after she cried foul over test administrators' decision to investigate it over alleged signs of possible cheating. Her name is Camilla Campbell. She's a Miami Gardens High School senior. And instead of doing that, she said that she's going to retake or think about retaking the SAT. All right, so that was announced today. I don't want to see anybody cheat on an SAT. That's one thing, right? The other thing is I don't want any of the administrators of the test of the SAT. Yes, honey, SAT. Anybody that is administering to accuse somebody of cheating when they did not, okay, I have issues with that. I really do. So when I look at all of this stuff, I want it to have a good resolve. Okay, so maybe it is just retake the test. Okay, so I think that is what she is planning on doing. And so with that, come join us for the 2019 Conscious Life Expo. Today is February 7th. It is coming up in 2 short weeks. That's right, at the LAX Hilton, February 22nd through February 25th. And, of course, this year we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken. And Friday night, I will be hosting the Ancient Alien panel with Eric Von Daniken. You have to get tickets for that in advance. I've been announcing now for the last week that the panel starts at 7 p.m. on Friday. It's listed in the printed program as 8 p.m. And I know a lot of you Fadernauts are going to be there for that. It's not at 8, it's at 7. You want to be there when it starts. All right, online it says 7 p.m. Printed, it says 8. All right, just go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Right after that is Contact in the Desert, May 31st through June 3rd. Tickets and information and full conference schedule right now over at contactinthedesert.com. And then right after that, excited about this, our 2019 Soul Tech Conference. It is Soul Tech 2.0. is over the July 4th weekend at the Sunrise Ranch in Loveland, Colorado. Rumor has it that we're going to have a birthday party with Fader 2. He's right there. Fader 2, turning 10 years old. So there you go. And also, I think we're going to have a barbecue there. There's no way that we can do a conference like that and not have a barbecue. I got to show off my goods. I'm going to show you guys how to barbecue. I think we should have a barbecue contest. We'll figure that out, all right? But I really think we should make that happen, Rita. We should barbecue at Soul Tech. You got to sign up, soultechgathering.com. Our website is now ready to launch. We're just fixing typos. You know, sometimes there's a comma where there should be a period or a period where there should be a comma, that kind of stuff. We're fixing that, but the website itself is gorgeous. Getting ready to launch. There you go, Soul Tech. Go to soultechgathering.com. All right, and Hoffman's Optics is going to be there. Hoffman's Optics is also going to be at Conscious Life Expo with us, and we are going to be doing a lot of night watching at Soul Tech. Yeah, we expect the good things to happen each night. You want to get your night vision goggles and take them with you to Soul Tech. So go to hoffmansoptics.com, right? Simple. Or click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Get yourself your night vision goggles. Get the deep blues. Get the Jimmy Church model, right? And then when you bring them to Conscious Life Expo or to Soul Tech, I'll sign it. Sign it in gold. Bam. But you can't wash the goggles after that. All right. All right, let's do this. Subscribe to our podcast. It is just $2 per month right there at jimmychurchradio.com. Just $2 a month. We're going to have, by the way, show number 1,000 is coming up on February 21st. I think that is a Thursday night, which is a Fader night. Yeah, show number 1,000. Yeah, because today we're at 992. 993? Oh, man. How did we get here? I don't even know. How did we get here? Absolutely incredible. All right. Happy birthday to today, James Spader is 59 years old. The Blacklist. Less than zero. James Spader today is 59 years old. Chris Rock. Unreal. Chris Rock today is 54. I always think about those HBO specials, especially that first one. But what was the video? What was the movie where he played the crackhead? Remember, he had the white stuff on his. He's in McDonald's and he's. Or is that the chick? And he's like, "How much for a piece of ice?" Remember that a cup? Oh, what was that? Was that? I can't remember. What movie was that? Yeah, somebody posted up in Twitter. I can't remember. There you go. All right, 1984, New Jack City. Thank you, Dan Betts. You guys are smart. How did you get that quick? Yeah, New Jack City, Chris Rock. Just incredible. On this day in history, 1984, NASA astronauts take the first untethered spacewalk, something I would never do. The photographs of Bruce McCandless and Robert L. Stewart hovering freely in space became some of my most favorite images of the 1980s. Besides, of course, the shots of the Van Halen Women and Children First tour. Or maybe it was it Women and Children First in 1984? Or was it Fair Warning? It might have been Eddie had the Circles guitar. That was Unchained. Was that Fair Warning? I can't remember. But there you go. That went down in 1984. Fader fact. The mobile phone-throwing world championships are held each year in Finland. Look at Chris Rock. Oh, man. Oh, you thought I was talking about Dave Chappelle. That's Dave Chappelle playing Chris Rock. It wasn't Falling Down. No, Falling Down was, that was Michael Douglas. But Falling Down is a great movie. I think it was New Jack City. Yeah, I think you're right about that. And that's coming in from Dan Betts. Falling Down was Michael Douglas. I don't think Michael Douglas was a crackhead. But could have been, because he lost his mind. Falling Down was good. Falling Down was a movie where Mike Douglas was driving to work. He's like a draftsman or something. And he's driving to work, and he gets stuck in traffic. And as he gets stuck in traffic, it's because some guys are working on the street. And he gets delayed. And he just gets out of his car and loses his mind. I really, really liked Falling Down. Disturbing movie, but it was very, very cool. All right, now, tonight is Fader Night. And before everybody says, okay, let's do this or let's do that, look, today was a pretty trippy day in ufology in our community. So let me just say this before we get started, and phone lines are open. I will talk about anything that you want to talk about, and I know where you guys are going. And yes, I've gotten some email about this. Look, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever you guys want to do, that's all good. But let me say this, and this is my only comment that I'm going to make. But I'm going to say back around October, September, August, somewhere in that area, I had laid out for about a week everything to this community. And I had said then, things are going to blow up. Okay? And what's Jimmy on about? What's Jimmy talking about? What's Jimmy, And I had said, okay, now you guys just need to brace yourselves for what's about to happen, and it's going to get crazier before it gets better. Okay? Well, we are here. And what has gone down over the last couple of months, and I have chosen to, and I will continue to, not comment. And the reason why, okay, I will make this public statement. Listen, the reason why I am not going to comment is because until everything works itself out, whatever those working out details may be, until they all work themselves out, there's nothing for me to say. And there's nothing for anybody else to say. The community, look, the community pleases itself really, really, really well. It's one of the most impressive things about this community. You guys are able to go and see through and weed out and figure stuff out on your own. Okay? And that is the best part. One thing is for sure. All right? Things are never what they seem. Ever. That's number one. Number two, it's only going to make this community stronger. That's what ultimately happens. Right? There are attempts at divide and conquer, but you guys aren't going to fall for that. You're not. That's it. All right. So, and today, when I'm falling on the heels of a pretty crazy day today, knowing that I'm heading straight into a Fader night tonight, where I'm about to take 50 phone calls in 2.5 hours. And on a day like this, well, you know what? That's what this is about. This is an open conversation tonight, and I'll let the chips fall where they may. Wherever these cards fall on the table, face up or face down, it's your show. Okay? All right? So let's do this. It is Fader night. It's going to be a great night tonight. Tomorrow I am off. I think it's Thursday, so I think Coast to Coast has made the announcements. What am I doing this weekend? Saturday, I'm on Coast, and my guests are Ed Nightingale, where we are covering Oak Island, and then followed by the Rabbi. Rabbi Ariel Bar Zadok is going to be with me Saturday night on Coast, and then Sunday night is Isaac Arthur. I'm going to have Isaac Arthur on for the duration of the show on Sunday night over on Coast. So what a great weekend it is going to be. And then we kick off next week. Might be our biggest week yet on Fade to Black. We have got an amazing week of guests. One that was kind of an accident. You know, it's just the way that it is. So let's take a break right here. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. Okay, there you go. I'm putting everybody on hold. You stay right there. I'm continuing to put people on hold. All right, I'm just letting everybody know. If you're on hold right now and it goes silent, that means you're on hold. I'm going to answer everybody in order, and that includes the person that I'm putting on hold right now. Watch this. They're going to listen to silence. Yeah, just like that. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. 747-228-2051 on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Follow me on Twitter right now at JChurchRadio. I'll be right back with your phone calls after this short break. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hey folks, Guess what the number one phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines all night long. The call-in number is 323-825. No, it's not. Scratch that. 747-228-2051. All right. Sorry about that. 5 years of the same phone number, and I've just got things messed up in my own head. So, there you go. All right? Man, all these... I'm doing my best. Here we go. Let's go straight to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's up first?
Hey, it's Vicky.
Mickey?
Vicky.
Vicky, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How you doing?
How you doing?
It's all good.
What's on your mind, Vicky?
Well, I don't know if you chat about this stuff, but the John of God thing.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Didn't know if you'd already been there this week.
I went there when the news broke. I don't know what you're going to talk about tonight, but when the news broke about John of God last month, I certainly talked about it, yes.
Yeah, I guess I kind of missed that one. I just was sitting here thinking, I went down to see him about 8 years ago, and, I didn't see anything, weird, and, nothing happened that anybody's talked about or anything like that. But, he just gave me a really weird vibe.
Okay. Now, for the audience, let's, he was arrested and put in jail and for sexual abuse, I think possibly rape. This was done down in Brazil. And then at that point, I think the authorities, I don't even know, but I think they had like 10 or more people that had officially come forward, women, and then there was another couple of hundred that had contacted them that they were looking to, reach back out to and get official statements from, whether those people wanted to officially press charges or not. But there were like 10 or maybe 12, maybe a dozen, or maybe it was more, but it was a low number that had officially accused him. So that's where it's at now. Do you have an update? There has been nothing in the news.
Yeah, I haven't heard much other than I think it was up to 600, and there was his daughter as well.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Wow.
Yeah, he I guess abused his daughter.
Well, he had
multiple times and beat her.
There's one thing is for sure is that he definitely built a little bit of an empire. That was there was a lot of income that was off of this. He built a pretty solid reputation. There were other things that were going on here. We're talking about, operations and things that he was doing with his mind to cure people of certain things. And he was pretty famous, and he's been talked about on the show with different guests over the years, quite often. But I've never been to Brazil. And I've never met John of God, but I've certainly have talked to many people that have been there and that have been around him. So you said it was a little weird at one point. What happened?
Well, I don't know. I thought he was a little weird, and I don't know if it was just like the trance part or when he's sort of has one of these other people in him or whatever talking to him. It's just kind of freaky looking because it's just I don't exactly know.
Well, Vicky,
it was just weird.
Okay, Vicky, let me spin this around. First off, I want to thank you for the phone call, by the way, and bringing this back to my attention. But let me flip this around a little bit. If you, Vicky, right? If you had 5,000-10,000 people per day calling you God, your appearance might change, right? You might handle yourself a little bit differently too, as well. And how can one not be eventually affected by that? That kind of adoration and everything else. That I don't know what he.
It was almost like dealing with a split personality.
Right. No doubt.
Multiple splits. Yeah, because he goes into his zone, and it's like that's somebody totally different than that was there a minute ago. It's kind of freaky. Yeah,
absolutely. And if anybody's got an update on John of God, post it up in Twitter. I would like to see it. But yeah, that was pretty crazy breaking news. In that, I think he thought he was pretty insulated. And that nothing like this could possibly happen to him, but it did. I was surprised to see him go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, he had all his people around him that took care of everything. So, he could just sort of fly under the radar, I would think, because he's got, everybody does everything for him.
Yeah.
From what I could see from when I was there, he's got his people at his side all the time, and, they take care of things. So.
Well, Vicky, next Thursday, see what you can find out and call me back next Thursday night on Fader Night, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you,
Vicky.
Do that. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you. Yeah, that John of God thing, when it did break, I covered it right here. I was very, very, very surprised about it. I didn't think that it was possible for something like this to happen. I have had people on this show and guests, also in person, that have talked to me, some researchers, people that have talked to me about, going down there and hanging out with John of God and what a great experience it was. And then to have this happen, it caught me completely by surprise. So if you've got an update, if there are any words out there, there's been nothing in the press about it at all since the first couple of days of his arrest. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
My name is Scotty.
Hi, Scotty. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm a newer listener and a first-time caller.
Right on, Scotty. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, I'm from the Indianapolis, Indiana area, and I'm pretty much 50 years old, and I've lived my entire life in the Indianapolis area, except for the 4 years that I was in the United States Navy.
What part of Naptown? What side of town?
Well, actually, I was from Anderson, which is a little bitty town about 20 minutes away from Indianapolis.
Yep, I know where, everybody knows where Anderson, Indiana is. Scotty, come on.
We got a casino and we got a racetrack.
Yes,
That's it.
Yes, you do. That's why they call it Speedway, Indiana, Scotty. You know I'm from Indy, right? You know this.
Well, I was wanting to talk to you about that. I was wanting to tell you a story. When I was growing up as a young kid, I used to listen to WFBQ Q95,
right?
The rock and roll station, of course. And I used to listen to this program called Sunday Night Live,
mm-hmm.
and it was hosted by a guy named Steve Church.
That's right.
And it was one of the most wonderful programs in the world. He used to talk about the backwards masking messages, the Queen playing stuff backwards and all that, and there was a story about the House of Blue Lights in Indianapolis.
That's right.
Now, I was wanting to know, is this Steve Church some kind of relation to you, sir?
No, I get that question at least once a week. And the ironic, irony, right? It's just a weird thing, but there's a weird twist to this. There's pictures of me out there that I posted that are out there in Indianapolis playing guitar in high school with my Q95 T-shirt on, right? And
nice.
So, yes, obviously I grew up with Q95 and Market Square Arena, and I went to Warren Central High School. And yes, and I probably listened to Steve Church quite a bit. And the fact that we both talk about those same subjects, I'm doing it today, and that I grew up on Q95, it is pretty ironic, but I have no connection to Steve Church. Isn't that weird? I know it feels like I should be his son, but there is no relation.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad I never bet anyone on that, because I would have lost that bet.
I know, right. And the House of Blue Lights, by the way, that's some classic Naptown urban legend, and I'm glad you brought it up on this show. Thank you so much, Scotty. All right. Hey, enjoy the rest of your evening, man. And I'm going to be in Indianapolis this year in 2019. So I'll make the announcement on the show, and we'll figure out something. All right?
I would love that. Great talking to you. I needed to know that information because I would have bet the farm on that, sir.
Well, you can squash it now. You can squash it. Jimmy Church is not related to Steve Church. All right? I would love to say the opposite, but there you go. All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night, Scotty.
Thank you.
That's a great phone call right there. I love, for me, I like talking to anybody from Indianapolis because I have such a connection to Indianapolis. I miss it. It's such a part of who I am. Indianapolis is just a great city. It's a great city. From when I talk about, this is the other thing. When I ask somebody from what side of town you're on, Indianapolis is surrounded by a freeway, I-465. I-70 goes straight down the middle. 65 North comes and goes up and goes to Chicago. Well, anyway, Indianapolis is cut into four parts. So it's east, west, north, and south, but it's also like the northeast side, right, and the southwest side. And everybody is very proud of where they're from. I'm from the hardcore east side of Indianapolis called Cumberland. Cumberland, Indiana, right there. The I-70 and the 465, where Warren Central High School proudly exists. With that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, my name is Ashley. We spoke last week.
We did? Ashley, what did we talk about, Ashley?
Well, last time we talked about the surfers and stuff off the Pacific Coast.
Okay.
Remember?
Ashley, I talk about surfers off of the coast of California on every show. But that doesn't mean we didn't have a good conversation. Was it a good conversation?
We did have a good conversation.
Okay, so what's on your mind tonight?
What's on my mind tonight is we went to your YouTube channel to watch you live on YouTube one night, which we'd never done.
Okay.
And so I saw you in the studio with all these guitars behind you, which changed what I wanted to call about completely.
Okay. Sorry about that.
And I wanted to know. No, it's good. I wanted to talk about what you think about sort of aliens. And are they like musically inclined, do you think? What sort of music do they listen to? Like, do they play funky instruments?
Right. They have to. Right?
They have to.
Yeah.
But I've heard that they're like soulless robotic people. Robotic beings.
Have you met
one?
one?
You wouldn't imagine. No, I have not.
Well, see, so, you wouldn't know. And until somebody can definitively prove to me that E.T. doesn't like music, I'm going on the other side. I think E.T. is developed, advanced, and one of the things that they have figured out is that art, writing, literature, music, comedy, these are all the things that make us beautiful people. And they've got to have evolved into that. Because I ask Ashley this, I'm not kidding about this. I ask contactees all the time when they talk about being on a ship and they went through and they were guided through. Did you hear any music? Did you hear any music? Were there any posters on the wall? Right? Was there any artwork there? Was there, what can you tell me about that? Because I think that's one of the things that would be very telling. I would love it if E.T. came up to me and said, "Hey, man, were you lucky enough to see Van Halen when they opened for Black Sabbath in 1980? I would love to have E.T. ask me that question. You know what I mean?
Because I completely understand, but that's assuming that they have contacted our music. Maybe they have their own thing going,
Absolutely.
I can't even imagine what it would be. I can't even imagine.
You see,
maybe some techno sort of stuff.
Well, wouldn't that be interesting? And there's another part to this, right? If as stuff is, yes, Rita, I agree with that. If Rita, the answer is yes. If we can figure out a way for him to behave, she understands. Right. I don't have time. No, is this? All of the music going out across the universe, right? And they intercept stuff. And what would E.T.'s reaction be to, like, Dance the Night Away by Van Halen? What a beautiful song, right? Or Stairway to Heaven, or Stevie Ray Vaughan, Pride and Joy. I could, because music is something that you don't have to speak the language. Right? It's just a beautiful melody. Right. So I would think so. I could just see E.T. Hey, man, did you have you ever met Jimmy Page? A question. Because they would. I don't know, Ashley. It's one of the biggest mysteries that we have out there, and hopefully. I would love to see E.T. wearing an AC/DC T-shirt, when they step off of.
I would love that, too. That would be amazing.
Enjoy the rest of your night, Ashley. Great phone call.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Yes, E.T. and music, right? E.T. and music. Why isn't that something that should be considered by all of us? That's my take on this. So with that, let's go back to the phones. I got to do this here. Okay, and it's this way. Man, I'm so backwards on these, on clicking. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy. This is Fred from Montreal.
Fred from Montreal. You know, Fred, you don't even need to say Fred. You know everybody knows who you are.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. You got the coolest accent of anybody that calls into the show. Except for
thank you. Well, thank you.
Except for Steve.
You know I'm French, right? I'm French over here, so.
I would have never have guessed that, Fred. Never in my life. But hey, Fred, you're from Montreal, right?
Yeah.
Have you eaten at a restaurant, I hope it's still there, called the Tre Marie? It's an Italian restaurant. Have you ever eaten there?
No.
You know, it stands for the Three Maries, right? And so 3 ladies named Marie own this Italian restaurant, and it's insane. I've eaten there a few times. But, okay, so you've never eaten at the Tre Marie. Man, I hope it's still there. I'd be really bummed out if it wasn't. Somebody will pop it up here.
Is it in the Italian neighborhood? Because I live like 5 minutes away from the Italian neighborhood.
Yeah, you know what? It's in, the restaurant is in what used to be a house, right? So you might be right on that. You know, I remember having to go up the wrought iron stairs. Well, all the houses in Montreal have those beautiful staircases that go up to the houses. But yeah, it could be. Okay, so what's on your mind tonight?
Oh, there's so much things to talk about, Jimmy. I mean, there's a lot. But the one thing that really struck me, 2 things actually that this week struck me. The number one, that is really scaring me here is the 5G deployment that is coming soon. And I mean, they can't do it. I mean, if they ever do it, worldwide 5G deployment. I know they already started in some few places like LA, Sacramento, Houston, and places like this. And I know it's coming up here in Montreal, maybe in 1 year or 2. I don't know if you heard about the 5G, what it does, those EMF radiation waves, those frequency, what it does to the human body, the human mind. Already 4G is pretty strong enough, but it's okay, we can take it. But now they want to take it to 5G, and Trump knows about it. He doesn't want to do nothing to stop it. He actually encouraged the corporation to deploy this 5G. I listen a lot to David Icke and others, specialists in that domain, and it's a really scary thing. And I don't know. I mean, am I being too scared? What do you think? Is it really? Is it this big problem that is coming for us? Are they gonna really, get us sick, all of us? Because I live in Montreal. I mean, I'm like 10 minutes away from downtown. So if they're gonna put it 5G here, they're gonna put it right in front of my window. I already live 62 meters away from a 4G tower's phone. I got a smart meter here, and I know that I'm sensitive to electromagnetic wave because when I put my microwave oven on to warm up my coffee, I got a small headache or pressure in the head. I don't have a cell phone. I got a landline. So I try to stay away from those wave. But this 5G is coming. What do you think? What's going to happen?
What I am concerned about is the fact that it appears they haven't done the appropriate medical studies, that they have jumped too fast into the deployment of 5G without addressing the concerns of the community and those out there that are bringing up the questions of not only the EMF and the EM, but general radiation. There's that. The effects on our brains, number 2, but also the wildlife and birds and everything else that will be in the areas of where 5G will be most heavily concentrated. And I'm worried about that. I don't want to have my pets. I don't want to have me or my children affected, certainly. But what about pets or wildlife or trees and things? Yeah, and so I don't think there has been enough addressed to this. And it seems like
I will tell you worse. I think, sorry to cut you off, but I think they know exactly what this 5G is going to do. And that's why they're putting a lot of pressure to deploy it before we can all wake up and find out that this is going to get us sick, cancer, all kinds of problem, disease that we're going to get. By the time that we wake up, the whole 5G is going to be already deployed. They really know what they're doing, and they are so mean. I can't believe David Icke said it in a documentary. He said the human race are so naive. They do not believe that there's a group of elite out there that are really looking to kill like 80% of the population. And if we don't wake up to that, I think they're going to succeed.
Well, maybe
I don't know.
so.
I don't want to go on fear porn here. It's just, it's a lot, you know. And this with the chemtrails and Fukushima that is still leaking, fluoride in the water. It's like almost going crazy with all the things. I made a list of all the things that the cabals are doing to us to get us sick or to kill us off. And I got like 15 items. I won't say it all, but from food poisoning to Monsanto, GMOs, chemtrails, the whole thing. I mean, wow.
Well, see, and here's the problem, though, Fred. If you keep it up, you're going to freak everybody out down here in the United States, and we're all going to move to Canada. So you need to worry. See, but nobody's going to move to Montreal. Nobody's going to move to Quebec. That's the good news. We need to go where nobody wants to learn how to speak French, and that freaks everybody out. So we'll move We'll move to Toronto. We'll move to Vancouver, Edmonton. We'll flood all of that out, but we'll leave you alone in Montreal. But you got to be concerned about that.
Well, that's the thing. We don't want to go into fear, but we do want to let people know what's going on. So you got to find the equilibrium between, telling people what is going on, but not going into fear. You see, that's the problem. I tried to talk to a lot of my friends, my neighbors, my family, but every time I bring something up, they always go, "Oh, these are just conspiracy theories, Fred. And come on, you're paranoid now. You listen too much to those shows. Come on, calm down." But I think that it's them that are asleep, and they just do not believe that it could be a group out there that are that mean.
Yeah, 5G, Fred, and thank you for the phone call. 5G is something that we should be concerned about, in that it is so powerful, so strong, so great, so fast, and everything that it's promising us. There's that part of it, and that's what they're selling us on. But it is being implemented before the testing, and we don't know about the effects on us, our environment, our children, and everything else. We're just going to implement it first and then worry about it later. And that is a real concern. So, hey, Fred, thank you so much, man, and enjoy the rest of your night.
No problem. You too. Okay, call you later again next time, Jimmy, to have a good night.
Yeah, thank you, Fred. Behave and be well.
Okay, bye-bye.
Fred up in Montreal, and he cannot be more correct. This situation with 5G is real. Okay, now I got to take a break right here. If you are on hold, stay right there. I will get to everybody after the break. It is Fader Night. 747-228-2051 is the number. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Where am I at here with my numbers? Oh, I'm there. I know what I'm doing. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Best night of the week. Open lines all night long. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll see everybody when we come back. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas. Come join us for the 2019 Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles at the LAX Hilton. This year, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken, and I'll be hosting the panel with Eric, Linda Moulton Howe, Jason Martell, Billy Carson, and join George Norrie, Nassim Haramain, Robert Schock, Daniel Brinkley, Grant Cameron, Julia Mossbridge, and another 50 speakers who will be presenting at the 2019 Conscious Life Expo. Just go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and a full conference schedule, or click on the CLE banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with, you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
You're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official FADERNIGHT by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Best night of the week. Call in number
747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. That's our Area 51 number, by the way. That was done by design. Pretty cool, right? Right? I think so. Okay, let me bust this out right here. And just because I can. And the thing is, when it comes to Fader Night, it is something where I don't know where the communication or the conversation or the knowledge is going to go. I have no idea. Just like this next caller. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy.
Yes.
Hi, this is Sharita calling from South Dakota again. How are you?
I'm doing good, but you need to speak up. We can barely hear you.
Are you able to hear me now?
Okay, that's better.
Okay. I just asked how you were doing.
I'm doing good. How are you? That's the question. You staying warm?
I'm great. I have been getting a lot of knowledge and information from your guests that you were having on. And the one guy that was talking about the AI, I think it was Monday night or Tuesday night. What was his name again?
Oh,
starts with the A.
Oh, wait. You're talking about Patrick.
Anomaly or something?
Oh, yeah, Anomaly. Yes, Anomaly. Yeah, he's great. He's great.
What does he do?
He's a host. He's a researcher. He's a journalist. He's a hip-hop artist. He's a poet. He's an everyman.
So when you two were talking about the artificial intelligence and them being able to take our voices and dub them, and then to make, I don't know, all the information you guys were giving, I was resonating with it, and it was weird because I thought to myself when I was listening to you guys, I remember thinking that's scary. You know what I mean? Like, that's scary that they're able to use the technology like that and sell our voices and our recording. I'm almost like scared to even use my phone and talk on it because you never know what's being recorded and what's being sold and if it's stuff that's going against us. But it started to scare me a little bit, and I try not to get too
it should scare you
over it and think too much about it. But the one thing I did pray about it, and I meditated really hard on all the stuff that you guys were talking about. And then I was listening to you talk to Daryl, and he has the extraterrestrial that I guess comes out in him or talks through him, correct?
Okay. Well, it should scare you, Tarita. It should completely freak you out. And you should write this down. Do you have a pen?
I do, actually.
Okay, write this down. Write this down. Okay. 2 words. Deep, D-E-E-P, deep fakes, F-A-K-E-S, deep fakes. Those are the videos and the technology that we were talking about. So go down that rabbit hole, go and Google that, search it, watch the videos, read about the technology, and then you'll understand why we are so freaked out. And I got to tell you, all the praying and meditation that you can do ain't going to help. This is something that we need to start using our own discernment on and figuring this out. But the technology is here. It is now. It is being used, and it is completely frightening. At first, Tarita, it was funny. Ha-ha. You know, you can put somebody's voice on somebody else's face and crack some jokes. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, but that is not the case now. So, yeah, it is something that we should all be aware of and completely freaked out on.
Okay, so I was I meditated on that, and I was listening to some of your other callers, but I do believe now that I'm starting to listen to more people, because I thought, for living in South Dakota, I thought I was like kind of by myself over here, and now that I'm in the community with y'all, I'm starting to hear more people that have the same experiences and share. I mean, multiple people have shared experiences, and I can resonate with them. But what I'm saying is that I do believe strongly, I'm so positive that there's some kind of a race that's following me and probably has been following me since I was a child and has been watching me and guiding me and waiting for me to wake up. Well, I'm awake now. I mean, I'm everything is just so vibrant and loud. My frequency I vibe on is so high that I can see things that somebody standing beside me, Jimmy, may not be able to see. They might be able to make an image, but they can't see it clear like I can. And so I used to think I was maybe mentally like challenged, because I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I making stuff up? You know, as I started doubting myself, and then I would use substance abuse and then just drown it out and think that I was maybe not mentally stable. And all along, I was just sabotaging myself, because I was on their frequency and they were trying to wake me up and show me things, but it was scaring me. So anyway, back to what I'm talking about is that, yes, they come to me in dreams. They tell me stuff. They're very, very loud and clear. And it's, like I said before, it's like I'm not like a leader. I'm not anything. I'm just this antenna. And I guess they trust me with their knowledge, and that I will pass on the information as best as I can to my truth, how I comprehend it. And, you know, and I've been known to be wrong here and there about some things, and I don't, I admit to it right away. If I say I'm wrong, I say, okay, I was wrong. I read that differently, because my human mind may have taken me somewhere else that I didn't want to really answer the question correctly. But once I did, then once I answer their codes, or I break the codes, then that's when all the information comes through. And sometimes, Jimmy, it's so thick and heavy that it just downloads me, and I'm like, holy cow, like, I need to talk to somebody and figure out what's going on. But they're telling me. So when I meditated on that, they came to me in a dream, and they told me to not be afraid, that it's their technology and they can do whatever they want, that whoever is misusing it on the planet, that they will deal with it. They will take care of it. It won't get out of hand, and that we do not have to, as being here as humans. Now, this is just, I'm just sharing this, doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you what I'm comprehending. The message that they told me was that we don't have to agree with anything, how it's being used or how it's been manipulated. Do not agree with it. Don't let it scare me. And as long as I don't agree with it and I don't let it scare me, it will not affect me, and they will not win. So any of the people that are misusing the technologies and trying to poison us and trying to do all this other stuff, so as long as we as the human race do not agree with it, we can stay in control. Our will is strong enough to trump them, because natural technology, we belong to this planet and all of the elements on it here and out there. We're so channeled in with all of that we trump it, because this is not their dimension to be in. And so they've given that technology to us to use in a good way. Yes, there are going to be people that are going to misuse it like that, but do not agree to it. Don't agree to anything about them poison. Don't agree. We can talk about it, but let's get to the solution. And that means protecting ourselves by just keeping ourselves natural, like all the teas you talk about, eating healthy, all of that, Jimmy. That was the biggest thing they comforted me with. And my mother came through the dream at the end of it, and she was talking to one of my relatives, and they were talking in Lakota, and she was telling her to tell me, don't be afraid, that they're here. They're in human form. They're in animal form. They're in everything, and they're protecting us, and they're watching over us, and that to not be scared. And so I was so thankful. I woke up, and I was like, oh, my gosh, well, thank you. Like, thank you for giving me that protection. And they told me that when I go to California, that this is going to be our year, and that we should be celebrating every event that is going to be in the community, the contact in the desert, everything. They said just celebrate it big, because they're here, they're coming through, there's nothing that anybody can do, and I'm supposed to make the announcement and do it on your radio show. So I was kind of scared. I was like, okay, my heart was beating fast. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I will announce it on Jimmy Church's show that they are here. This is our year. They're coming through. Everybody's going to start filming and videoing. It's just going to be of abundance. And we're going to go ahead, and the disclosure is going to take place, and that we're all ready for it. And so I'm 100% confident that it's you that is going to be making a lot of big changes and opening up a lot of doors in the community. So, my hat's off to you. Thank you for taking my call. The biggest thing they said, though, is do not invoke in fear, because when you invoke in fear, then that's when that artificial stuff can come in, it can sabotage us and it can hurt us. So they said, just don't agree with it. Don't agree with it. You don't have to agree with it. And once our community and the population doesn't agree with it, it doesn't play a part in our dimension. It doesn't belong here. So I hope that I'm able to just share that in a positive way. I usually, I'm not a BSer. I don't mislead people. And if I felt like something wasn't right with what I was saying, I wouldn't say it. But everything that I just told you is like what was channeling through me. And I'm excited to come out there. I booked my hotel. I booked my flight to come out there. I don't know if I can buy the tickets when I come to the door. I definitely am coming to the Chariots of the Gods event to come meet you all. And then I'm not sure what events I'm doing. And then I leave on the flight again Sunday morning at 1 o'clock. So I'm quickly flying in Friday afternoon, staying, and then leaving late Saturday morning or Sunday morning, late Saturday night. So I get to come in there, and I'm excited that I get to come meet you guys all and come meet you and hang out and be a part of the community. But I wanted to bring that to the table to the community, that's what they're telling me, that we're safe, we're okay, they're not going to do anything to us. We have the power. This is our planet. This is our star.
Okay, Tarita, I got to jump in. We're losing the phone call, but
they can do whatever they want, but we don't have to agree to it.
And thank you for that, and thank you for the message, and we'll be seeing you. I can't wait. We'll be seeing you in 2 short weeks right here in Los Angeles. And enjoy. Sorry the phone call is dropping out, but we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on, and just to everybody, I'm so excited to meet all of you, and thank you for...
Okay, we've now completely lost Tarita there, and that is rather unfortunate. If you're on hold, stay right there. Let me line up a couple of things, and we'll get right back to the phones. But if you're on hold, stay right there. This is Fade to Black. Let's go here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going over here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy.
Yes.
Hey, it's Bob.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
You remember me?
Bob, I take 50 phone calls a month from Bob's.
Well, you're the one that gave me the name. The BP cakes.
Okay. Remind me, Bob.
I was telling you kind of like what actually happened with the whole BP Horizon case.
Oh, yes. Okay. I remember that. Okay.
So, get this, man. It freaked me out. After we had our conversation, all right, and, all right, let me preface this with, I kind of live a little bit out in the country now.
Okay.
You know, away from Houston. So we don't get a whole lot of traffic on my street. I started seeing blacked out Tahoes. I had a knock on my door.
Right.
Which I just let my dog take care of that. I didn't even answer the door. But what really tripped me out was it was a day, you know, clear blue skies, right? And I hear what sounds like a thunder crack right over my house.
What happened?
I have no idea.
Okay, with the black Tahoes, and are they continuing?
No, they stopped.
Okay.
I think it was kind of like a shot across the bow kind of thing, you know?
Right.
Like saying, shut up.
Right. Well, do you think that they were listening to this show, or they were monitoring your phones, or they knew that you were calling in? Bob, everybody called in a couple of weeks ago and talked to us about the BP oil spill down in the Gulf of Mexico, and he was in Houston monitoring things, and that they knew that there was going to be these issues with the way the concrete was being poured and dried or not dried down at the bottom of the ocean floor in the Gulf of Mexico, and that caused the oil spill. And he knew about it, and he is in possession of all of the data that was acquired there and could be possibly a whistleblower on this entire case. So that's a basic overview of this. But so you're suggesting that they knew about it. Now you've got black Tahoes and surveillance on you, and things are going down, and you live in the country, and now strangers are knocking on the front door, right? Am I understanding you?
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't even go to the door. I just let my dog, run them off.
So what's next?
All right. So 2 days after that thunder crack that I heard on, a day with clear blue skies, I hear. All right. So you're a music guy. So if I say 90 hertz. You know what that means, right?
Yes, I do. But, Bob, you need to remember, this is live radio, so we need to keep the action going. Okay, so continue. I want to know. I'm on the edge of my seat, man.
So all right.
Okay, so 90 hertz, which is a low frequency. Okay, so 90 hertz, okay.
So 2 days after the thunder crack, I hear a hum that sounded to me like it oscillated between 90 hertz and about, I'd say 110 or 120 hertz. And it lasted for about 30 minutes. And it drove me out of my house.
Okay.
Like, I had to leave. I mean, it was almost making me sick to my stomach.
So then what happened?
Nothing since then.
Okay. Well, keep us posted, man. And if the men in black, if these black SUVs continue, showing up out there in the country, you need to take pictures, get license plate numbers, call the police. Yeah, you got to do all that stuff. You have to. Okay.
I wish I had, because they're very, very. They stand out.
Yeah, I know. I know. Of course,
a blacked out Chevy Tahoe out here. Yeah, you don't see that.
No, you don't. You don't. So keep us posted, Bob. And if anything happens over the next week, give us a call next Thursday night on Fader Night.
I'm sure it will. Now that I've.
Well, of course, you've just stirred the pot.
They listen.
Of course. So call me back next Thursday. All right, Bob, and take some pictures.
All right, Jimmy.
I'll talk to you.
Hey. Go Beckley Tepe.
Go Beckley Tepe. Thank you so much, Bob. That's a crazy case when it comes to the British petroleum spill down there, the Horizon spill. So yeah, and he's got all the data, right? He's sitting on all of the data. So it makes you wonder if they are listening, and if you're out there in the country and you suddenly have, black SUVs showing up out there in the country where there's nothing going on ever, that definitely makes you wonder. All right, I'm putting everybody on hold. If you hear it go silent, that means you are on hold, okay? It's really that simple. So I'm putting everybody on hold. Oh, my goodness, look at these phone lines. All right, let's go here. You are live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Nobody there? Okay, let's go here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Carolyn. How are you doing?
Hey, Carolyn. How are you? That's the question.
I'm really good, Jimmy. I haven't called in a while because I've had some stuff going on. I went and got a hip replacement in November 30th.
Right on.
But something happened to me in the hospital, and I just wanted to get it on record.
What happened?
Well, it was the day after my surgery, and my disclaimer is they did have me on opioids, the lowest dose. I not very much, but anyways, So I'm sleeping away in my hospital room, and I wake up, and I turn on the light, and I swing my legs down, so I'm in a sitting position, and all of a sudden, I realized there was somebody, like there was this dark spot right beside the head of my bed on the floor, beside the bed.
Okay.
And I looked, and this dark thing stood up. It was about 4 feet tall, chubby. It was dark, like grayish dark. And it was, I don't know what it was, but anyways, it stood up. And I'm like, I just looked at it, and it started shaking, like it was scared. And it was in the corner, like between my bed and the wall. Anyways, so I just looked at it, and I said, "Get out." And it just ran out the doorway. And then my nurse came in and said, "Are you all right?" Because I yelled. And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Do you need another painkiller?" And I said, "No."
Oh, I would have said, "Yeah." I had to say, "Yeah." So she didn't see anything. She just heard you yell.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to tell her.
But it definitely split when you said, "Get out." Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've heard that advice a lot. That if you, if you are letting them know that you are not going to play by their rules, right? That is usually the best thing to do, and it sounds like it worked for you, Carol.
Well, I always thought that these people that saw shadow people were just, it was their imaginations, or I didn't know, like, I give them the benefit of the doubt, and maybe they only come down in the States or something where it's warm, but I'm telling you, that was a dark person. It looked chubby, like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Right.
Shape.
Right.
And it was 4 foot tall, and it was crouched down beside the head of my bed. Wow. I don't know why.
You know how cool, you know what is as scary as it might have been at the time? I put this up into the cool category because now when you hear somebody else tell this story, you can go, "See, that's what I'm on about. That's what I was telling you." Right there. That right there is what I've been talking about, and you guys won't listen to me. And see, and that's why you put it up into the cool category, because you weren't hurt, right? But you got to see it, right? And you know that you can say something like, "Get out, pal. I'm not dealing with you right now. I got other issues. Just had my hip replaced." But if I scream loud enough, I'll get another dose. So, I thank you for that. But other than that, you got to leave. I think that's cool. Put it up in the cool category, Carol. I think it's real cool.
Yeah, so.
Enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you for hanging out with us. You've been with this now.
I love you guys.
You've been with us now for 5 years. You think you're a member of this family yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Carol. Behave and be well, and enjoy the new hip.
I got a question. I got one question for you, Jimmy.
Okay, you got 15 seconds. I got to go to break. Quick.
Okay, what kind of taco did you get last night off that taco truck?
I got two. I got carne asada, and I got carnitas, and then I got two carne asada mulitas. And so that's what I did last night. Washed it down with a Mexican Coke in the bottle. Life doesn't get any better. Thank you so much, Carol.
Jimmy, you're living.
I'll talk to you. Thank you, Carol. Behave.
Okay. You too.
Bye-bye. She got a new hip. And that, my friends, is cool. This is Fade to Black. I'm going to take a break. If you are on hold, stay on hold. I'll get to everybody right after the break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Oh, Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. Do you want to be an official FADERNIGHT? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night. Fader night. The call-in number, 747-228-2051, 2051. All right. Let's do this. Let's go straight back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. Just like this. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? 3, 2, 1. This about, I'm just going to go right down in order. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? What? Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Who's this?
Hey, Jimmy, what's up? This is Frank from Chicago.
Hey, Frank from Chicago. What's on your mind?
First time caller. Nice talking to you. Real quick, have you seen the pictures from that Chang 4, the satellite on the far side of the moon?
I've seen some. I haven't seen them all.
Well, there's not many. There's like one or two. I don't know. But it shows like the Earth in the background.
Right.
And it's like the first. Right. Okay. So my thing was, I looked at it, and of course you can't, we can't believe everything we see, right, with all this digital stuff they're doing nowadays. I was thinking, like, that it was almost a subtle way of them telling us, like, hey, we're on the far side of the moon. We've seen what's there. There's nothing. It's just the moon. That's it. With that picture, that's what I got out of it. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm listening to you.
Oh.
I was hoping for, but I think they must have been cleaned up somewhat. But I was hoping for something strange in the background, right? And we didn't get that yet. And also underneath the lander, there wasn't any. You would think that there would be some kind of exhaust, some disturbance of the moon dust there of it landing. No matter how little or light the exhaust was, something got blown around. But it looked pretty undisturbed. But the pictures that I've seen are all crystal clear, perfect. But the Chinese right now are sitting on 20, 30, 40, 50,000 images, right? Because that's the world we live in today, right?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah.
Where are the pictures?
This is what I'm saying. They took the picture, they put them out there. It's cleaned up. There's nothing there. Nobody sees nothing. That's it. That's the end of it. The Chinese are in it too, with the rest of the world. They're not going to tell us nothing.
There you go, Frank. Man, and it bums me out, but you may be right. You may be right. Hey, man, first-time caller. Thank you for the phone call.
Yeah. Well, one more thing.
Sure.
There's a delay here. I'm sorry about that. 2 months ago, I listen to your show every day, right? Because I work. I'm a trucker, so I drive.
Right.
But I didn't hear, unless I missed it, about the whole CRISPR thing with the Chinese geneticist that successfully produced the two twins.
Yeah, well, I think those guys, they brought legal charges on them. That the Chinese government freaked out a little bit on them doing the experiments without authorization. That's the last I heard, but nothing since then.
Yeah, but didn't you hear that he said that one of the twins, there was their names were Nana and Lulu, right? Two girls. One of them was successfully immune to the AIDS virus.
I read that too. Yes.
Yeah. So my thing is they obviously have been working on this technology, and they obviously have it, right? And I'm sorry, I'm cutting off. I'm sorry because there's a delay. I could tell. But my thing was they obviously have the technology to get into our genetic code and start switching things around. So how far before we actually? It's almost kind of like they have the cures. They have the technology to fix this, but they're not going to give it to us.
No, that's exactly the point. And thank you for the phone call, Frank. The thing is, when it comes to this, thank you so much, is that with CRISPR, and when you're asking about do they have the ability, well, that's the whole point with CRISPR is being able to snip, and interrupt and insert things into our DNA and genetic code. I mean, that's the whole point behind CRISPR. And it is disturbing. And to have, I don't know this as fact, I only read this, but to have a baby born immune to AIDS, was that intentionally done? Was it accidental? Right? Or is it part of evolution where we are going to adapt to something and now suddenly we are creating humans? We should check all babies, right? Is it possible that we have a natural immunity now to it, but we're not testing for it? But I did find that very interesting that was there in one of the press releases on it. Thank you for the phone call, Frank. We love our first-time callers. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go over here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? What is going on with these phones? Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. All right, let's go to this one. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Okay. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Unreal. Okay, let's go here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, my name's Charlie. I'm from Santa Monica, Jimmy.
Hey, Charlie from Santa Monica. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, I was at the Bob Lazar, the opening, the premiere for, Jerry Corbell's Area 51. And, I want to ask you, what is your thoughts about the Element 115? After going there and seeing that, it makes me think that sometimes maybe if they're trying to mine 115, the Element 115, Elon Musk or the Chinese government or somebody, you don't know, actually.
Well, we don't. I mean, Element 115 isn't naturally occurring. The question is, that we know of here on this planet, it's, we have to create it. But is it possible to mine it somewhere else? Yes. Yes.
Yeah. With the whole secret, so-called secret, space situation, why do they have, like they said, there's, bases on the dark side of the moon, and it's been there for years. You don't know if the aliens have been, maybe they're mining, it could be Element 115 or something else.
Well, Charlie, let me ask you a question here. Do you think Bob has some Element 115?
I think he does, and he's just not. He's just not going to come forward and say that he does.
Why not?
I because implicate him.
Implicate him in what? I'm being serious here. If you, Bob or Charlie, if you had 115 and you were in possession with it, don't you come forward and present it to the world and become a hero to all of mankind? Don't you come forward? You don't go to prison. And the same thing with Bob. Yeah. If you got Element 115, then you solidify your position, and you're Time Magazine Man of the Year. In 50 years or in 100 years, they have a religion called Lazar, right? You would be.
Regardless, if he doesn't have it or does have it, it's still. Do you believe that it still exists, right?
I know that it exists on the periodic tables. Do I believe that Bob has Element 115? No, I don't. And the reason why, because if Bob had it, he would have come forward. There's no, nothing's going to happen to your family or to your, he would have come forward with it. Why? Because everything that he has said, I believe that Bob was at Area 51. I've been following Bob since the beginning, and I love his videos. Those original videos are some of the best videos ever. But that being said, if he had Element 115, he would bring it forward, because that means everything that he has said, all of it is true. And so...
and evidently, he did take some classes at MIT.
No, he didn't.
Not enrolled. No, he monitored like 4 or 5 different classes at MIT. Yeah, that's definitely true.
Oh, where's the evidence of that?
He's never enrolled there, but he did monitor quite a few classes at MIT.
Well, okay. I haven't seen. Yeah. I hope that you're right, and if there's evidence of that, then we should see it. I haven't seen anything.
Right.
I would love it. I would love it. He needs to have this stuff come out so he can be supported correctly and get rid of all of the debunkers out there and the skeptics. But for me, I was talking about this last night on the show, Charlie. I'll ask you, every class that you have ever taken, I don't care if it's kindergarten and I don't care if it's high school or college, but you have friends, you know who you ate with every day, you know the names of all of your teachers, you can name the books that you read, you can name the hallways, you can point out where your locker was, and in any school that you ever went to. But he can't do that with Caltech and MIT. Why?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know.
Him sitting in classes to him being enrolled actually at MIT or Caltech, but he did have friends there. So
well, you know what? To this day, it's packed away. But I took a couple of classes with UCLA, right? UCLA extension classes, and I have all of the paperwork. I have the certificates of completion with the little silver label in the middle, right? That little silver star, signed by the teacher, right? I have all of that stuff, and that's it, man. Just whip it out. I'm just talking about UCLA extension classes. Nothing big, nothing official, not a PhD, but I did do that. And if he took some kind of online correspondence course with MIT, show me the paperwork. That's all.
Yeah, all right. I don't think it existed back then. Well, maybe it did.
I took those classes with UCL Extension over a 5 or 10 year period.
I'm not talking about online. I'm just you're right.
This was not, but this wasn't online, is what I'm saying. This is way before that. All right, Charlie, behave, man. Thank you for the phone call.
Take care, Jimmy.
Thank you, man.
Talking to you, man. Hey, I'll see you at the LA Expo.
Conscious Life Expo. We'll see you there. Come say hello.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's a great phone call right there. And you know what? I'll bring it up again. I bring it up all the time. If no matter where you were, no matter where you've taken classes from, it does not matter. You remember things. You just do. And that's where I'm coming from on all of this. You remember where you were. You know where the cafeteria was. You remember if the food was good. You remember all of those things. All right? And that's it. That's where I'm coming from. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Oh, oops. Sorry.
Oh, hi. Okay, sorry. We got a kind of a bad connection there.
No, that was me that was me muting you. That was me. Sorry about that. Who's calling?
Sorry, man. My name's Mike in West Los Angeles.
Hey, Mike. Wow. So, I got all these calls tonight from Santa Monica and West Hollywood. What's going on with that?
Yeah. So, hey, like on the topic of like ETs and rock and roll, I was wondering if you ever heard about the Sammy Hagar connection.
Oh, absolutely. I've tried to get him on the show a few times about this. But, yeah, that's a great part in his book where he talks about getting the grand download overnight in his bedroom.
Yeah, because I haven't heard that much about it, just like 1 or 2 minute clips about it. I thought it would be interesting to hear like a more in-depth thing about it.
I want to hear from him. That's the thing. I want to hear from Sammy, but he's tough, man. You would think that Sammy would have reached out to me by now. That's really the truth. But I've reached out to him through his management, and they made it nearly impossible. They wanted money. They wanted big money. They wanted. You know what? Wow. This is what I think it was. I'm going to call him out right now. I think it was $5,000 for 15 minutes for a phone interview. Right. And I was like, well, it looks like he's not going to be on anytime soon. And I wrote back a couple of times like, no, there will be no money. Well, then there will be no Sammy. I was like, well, whatever. All right. So it was like that. And I tried a couple of times, but that's where it's at. So, Sammy, if you're out there, if you're listening, any of your people, you know how to get a hold of me, and you can bypass that agent of yours and just call him for free so he doesn't get his cut of $5,000. So
that would be cool, man. I hope you can do it.
Thank you, Mike. Behave and be well, man. Stay dry out there in West Hollywood.
All right, dude.
I'll talk to you. Yeah, Sammy was tough, man. Sammy was... that was a thing where I thought it was humorous. I didn't think that it was real, where they were playing this kind of game with me with money to get him on the show. But I'm sorry, I just don't do that kind of thing here. So with that, let's go. Who's up next? You're live on Fade to Black. You're live. Okay, all right, let's go here. You're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, it's Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, sorry, Jimmy. Sorry, Jimmy. I was multitasking. I'm good. I'm calling from Dallas.
Right on.
And I called the other night with when Anomaly was on, and we were talking about how we're in the prospect of believing some things that other people in your life don't believe, and he was saying, sometimes you got to let people go, and it was a great conversation. I appreciated his words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask you about a case that I've heard about way back in a while ago, but now it's kind of resurfaced? The Corey Feldman child sex ring thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? I mean, this is just nuts.
Well, see, Corey, and that goes back, the two Corys, right? Corey Feldman.
The one that passed away, and the other one.
And the thing that I can't deny with that, and I like Corey Feldman. I think he's a really cool dude. I think he's very talented and love all of his stuff. But the thing that we have to understand about Corey is he was around back in the day. He was, I know. He was a very successful child actor. And if there was any funny stuff going on, he would definitely know about it. And his concerns with
That's
him
how I feel.
and others around him. Right. Okay. So and he was not scared. He was not afraid to name names, and he did that too as well. So I think that we need to listen to Corey. But
I think we do too, Jimmy.
What I had said back then, Sandy, and this is, I've always been uncomfortable in talking about this on the radio because it's not really what I do. But back in the 80s, in the music scene on the Sunset Strip, that if you were hanging out on the Sunset Strip, there were a lot of strange rumors that were going around about different people in the music industry.
There was a lot of satanic stuff, wasn't
there? Well, you know what? I'm going to leave that part of it alone because we're talking about 35 years ago. I don't remember a whole lot about those things because I didn't participate, whatever. But there were a lot of warnings. There were a lot of people that would go, see that dude over there? Don't hang out with him because this is what goes down at his house. See that guy over there? And you would hear these stories. And that if you and there was a lot of there were a lot of hungry musicians that were there trying to get ahead with their bands, and so there was a lot of opportunists there, knowing that it was just a really uncomfortable thing. So now. I wasn't an actor. I wasn't in the film industry or in the television industry. I don't know what was going on there. But I can equate the two, atmospheres together where there were some strange things and rumors that were going around.
Okay.
So that's it. I never saw anything. Nope, nothing ever. I came out of it unscathed. Right?
We'll have to see where it goes because I don't think it's going away.
Well, that's the other thing. With all of this, we need to always keep our eyes open.
And I think that in all these different genres, there's so many people coming forward now.
And when you're in a position of power and you have a lot of money and you get into certain circles, and what may or may not happen there, I don't know. I'm not.
That kind of goes back to what you said that one night where you're like, well. If he didn't mention that, it wouldn't have happened in my mind.
Well, that's right. And see, but there's another way to look at this, though, Sandy, which is this. I don't know about you, but I'm not a multimillionaire. I'm not a billionaire. I don't have $100 million in the bank. So I don't know what it's like to go and hang out night after night with people that are in that circle. I don't.
It's a different circle.
It's
and you were talking about with the other guy, that Todd guy, the God guy, the woman who called first.
Mm-hmm.
How he's been everyone's been telling him he's God his whole life or whatever. Yeah, that's going to change somebody.
It's going to change you.
You're going to feel
affect
untouchable.
You. That's right. Your appearance is going to change.
I think so too. I saw John Mulaney, great comedian. He does a bit when he worked as a writer at Saturday Night Live, and Mick Jagger came on. And he said he would get asked a lot, are famous people crazy? He would say, yes, they are crazy. And he would say Mick Jagger he was told his whole life, you're a god, So, yeah, he acted like that. And all he had to say was yes or no.
That's right. Yeah, I've heard the same. I've heard that bit, by the way, and it's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, it's really funny, but it's also true, right? When has Mick Jagger ever heard the word no? I think that was part of his bit, right? That was part of his bit. Has he ever heard no?
He's like, no. Yes. Is that how you write a song?
Right. He's never heard no. And when you have all of these enablers around you, right? These people that make sure that the word is yes, right? Because you don't ever want it to be, you don't want to be the person to tell this person no, or they can't have this, or they can't do this. No, you need to have, the yes men around you, and that's the way that it is.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yes, Mick Jagger.
The Sammy Hagar thing, I wish you could get him on the show. Oh, my God.
He's such a cool guy. He's so
close. He's right there, isn't he? In Cabo San Lucas.
Well, that's down in Mexico. I remember one time, I'll tell you how cool Sammy is. I was at an airplane hangar at Van Nuys Airport where Van Halen rehearses, right? Inside this airplane hangar with lights and production. And the airplane hangar doors are open, and out there was a bunch of cars out there, and like Eddie's Ferrari, and there was other cars. And we're waiting for Sammy to show up. The band is up on stage playing without Sammy, rehearsing, right? And I look outside, I hear this car, whoa, and I look out onto the airport runway, and there's this Ferrari out there doing donuts, just making all this smoke. Really cool, right? And then it stops, pulls up, and Sammy jumps out of the car. So, and I was just like, that dude doesn't drive 55, and he's living up to everything that he is about. And he just kind of strolled in, and it was a pretty dramatic entrance.
Because he can.
That's because he can. He's a cool dude. I would love to have him on the show. And if I did, if I did have him on the show, I would have him tell the story, what I just said right there. And he would go, yep, dude, that really happened. All right. Sandy, enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, we'd like to hear that. We'd like to hear from him.
Absolutely. And,
I don't.
There's somebody out there listening right now that knows Sammy that will that'll make it happen. It's just
inquiry minds want to know. We're very friendly here. We don't judge. We just want to hear it.
Yeah, and we put it out there to the universe, right? We put the vibe out there, Sandy, and the universe has a funny way of making it happen. I don't have to do anything. I just got to mention it, and then things happen. Sandy, enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much.
Okay, you too, Jimmy. All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Great phone call right there. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. All right, I got to take a quick break right here. It's Thursday night. It is FADERNIGHT. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'm going to put you on hold. Don't go anywhere. I'm putting you on hold. Don't go anywhere. This is Fade to Black. Stay with me.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, it is Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Call a number 747-228-2051. 2051. Area 51 is the number. Let's go straight back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. Oh, man, I'm not doing this. I am not doing this. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Very interesting. There is something funky going on with these phone lines here. Hi, you're live on Fade. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Jared from Albuquerque.
Hey, Jared from Albuquerque. How are you?
Doing good. How you been, Jimmy?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Trying to get through these phones.
Yeah, I understand. Hey, I just was wanting to tell you something real quick that can help a lot of the community and with the recent developments with deep fakes and CGI and all that kind of stuff.
And what's that?
Recently, there was a guy that works in the visual effects industry. He's done work for Fury and a lot of other big-name movies. And he went through some of the digital forensics methods that he and others use to determine whether an image is fake or CGI.
And what's that?
Some of it includes looking at shadows, comparing light sources, a lot of stuff that people are already doing. But one of the things that I found most interesting was that they will look at the digital signature that is created when you convert an image from the raw form to its compressed video file format.
Okay.
So, taking it from the raw to whatever format you're turning it into, being it like an MP4, those types of files.
And what happens when you do, what happens when you do that?
Right. So what happens is there's each pixel in the image, you can compare that digital signature that happens to something that's been added later and tell the difference. So you can actually analyze an image and be able to determine, because they'll have different digital signatures. And so you can determine if something has been completely unaltered, or if there's the other signature will show up on the image itself.
Well, there's that. I totally agree with that. Now, also, if you blow up an image huge and down to the pixel level, and you're looking at you can tell when the pixels don't match. You can see that too as well. Most people don't have that ability to do that, but if you can, and you can just scroll up and then just look at them, you can see where they don't line up. Not everybody has that ability, but I do know that there's a way to look at a raw image and see if it's been manipulated since then, and then look at an MP4 or something else and see that if it's, and you can look at the the data and see the stages of when the file's been modified.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and this is an image this is a method that you can use. So if you're analyzing a video that you have, and it's whatever file format it is, you can take a look at all the image and analyze it to determine if some of it if it's been altered, the altered portion will show up as a completely different signature than the original signature.
Yeah, and
in the video.
And specifically for me, these two videos that have surfaced lately, the one out of Utah and the other one out of Spain, that happen to both be allegedly raw video files from drones that have these UFOs that look very similar in them. I want to see the analysis and the comparison of those two videos. And I'm sure that it will be forthcoming over the next couple of weeks. But those are two stunning videos, but they're also too much alike. It feels a little funky to me. They're too good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and with the one in Spain, I looked at that one, and there was some. You could tell that there was some production value added to it in the presentation of it.
Yes, I saw the same thing. And
yeah.
I just want to see the raw files, the absolute pure raw files. And I understand somebody said to me that the raw files of the Utah footage are out there, but I haven't seen them yet. So
they are. Yeah, the same channel that released the initial video, they released the raw files. You can see the video that they made. There's a link to a Dropbox or someplace where you can download the raw file itself.
All right, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, Jared, and thank you for that. I don't know if I have the time to do it this weekend out of Coast, but I do want to do that. And you can also email me the Dropbox link, too, as well. I would like to check it out.
Yeah, sure. I'll shoot you an email.
Thank you so much, Jared. Enjoy the rest of your night, my man.
All right, you too, Jimmy. Have a great one.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much. I'm just going to keep on going just like this. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Man, there's something, I don't know what is going on here with this. I'm going to try this one here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. Yeah, it's something is going on with when I link, I've got these calls that are not popping up correctly. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Yeah, I got issues with this. This is acting bizarre to me. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Okay, I have a total of 15 calls on hold, and nothing is there. And I don't know what is going on. It's like these calls are linking together, and they're both on hold at the same time. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Oh man, this is getting old and frustrating. Yeah, there's something wrong with the phone system here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Huh. You know what? I'm just going to hang up on everything. I'm hanging up on everybody. I don't care. Call back. I don't care if you're on hold. 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 Okay, I just cleared everything out. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. This is weird. I just cleared out all 20 phone calls. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Yes.
Hey, Jimmy, Mike from Jersey, long-time listener.
Hi, Mike from Jersey. How are you?
All right. Listen, I got a quick question. I just got to ask you an honest thing here. You seem like a smart guy, and you know how this UFO community is. You know what all the stuff we got to go through, all the ups and downs. How could you have Emery Smith and Corey Good and actually believe them? And I'm not blaming you, but how can you do that? I don't see it.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't seem... I mean, you believe with Corey Good, he's 60 years old right now.
Well,
20 and back? I mean, come on.
Hey, Mike, it's not up to me. It's up to you.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Okay,
but
I mean...
It does hurt, Jim. It hurts a little bit when you push people like that.
Why would it hurt? Why would it hurt?
Because some of these people, they'll believe anything. And you have to look out for certain people because people like David Wilcock take advantage of people like that.
Oh, that's your opinion. And that's what's most important.
That's right. It is. Yes, it is my opinion. I'm just wanting to say that. I know you're smart. I'm just saying. I listened to one interview with Corey Good. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He's got a little niche. He found that he's doing it. That's fine.
Okay.
But, I mean, some of the guys, yeah.
Okay, so then what's your point?
Yeah. My point is I can't see how you can have him repeatedly as a guest, people like Corey Good, and push them. I don't
what do you mean?
It.
I push them. What does that even mean? See, let me explain.
Why do you have them on?
Because I'm interested in a conversation. Look, Mike, let me explain to you the principle of this show from the very beginning. I have on guests that I want to have a conversation with. I find it interesting. It's nothing more than that. I don't have to believe. I don't have to endorse. I don't have to do anything. But if I find it to be an interesting conversation, then I'm going to have that conversation. You, as a listener, get to listen to that conversation. What you do with it from there is totally 100% up to you. I have never said, Mike, I have never said with any guest that has been on this show, you have to believe everything that you are about to hear.
You're one of the good ones.
When have
you're
I
one of the good ones.
But you're insinuating that I have said that.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I said, how could you have them on repeatedly? I didn't say you said anything. I never said that.
Okay.
I said,
all right.
Like, and for example, with a guy like Corey Good, what I'm saying is, what goes through your process when you go, hey, you have an interview. I understand it's entertainment, but now let's say I'm going to have him on again, and you go through the whole thing, and I get it what's going on, but I mean, and he keeps saying the same thing. Some of the stuff is absolutely crazy, but you're right, people, and it's sad because
Wait, Mike,
Mike.
Mike. I have had on this show multiple time travelers. I've had on this show many people that have been abducted. I've had on this show many people that say that they have been to Mars or Jupiter or to another star system. I've had that repeatedly on, and that's it. You know, and so when I have on in 3 nights in a row where I have somebody that says, ETs are good. And then the next night, I have people on that, ETs are good, and we need to trust them. The next night, ETs are bad. We need to be careful. The next night, ET is abducting us and using us for slave and meat, and they eat us. Well, you know what? You've got 3 nights in a row. What are you saying that I shouldn't have on any of those guests? I mean, what's the point in that? That doesn't make any sense.
But there's certain people your BS meter has got to go like over the top. I mean, come on, common sense. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I really thought we had a shot this year with this closure. I really did. And I just feel like some of this stuff that we do makes them not want to do it.
Well, and so
it's the way we approach it, but it's not your fault. I'm not blaming you, Jim. I've been listening to you a long time. You're one of the good ones.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
So you're saying that we had a shot. You felt good about Corey, but now you don't, right? You just said we had a shot with Corey this year. Oh, I guess we lost Mike. I guess Mike just hung up. All right, so let's do that right there. See, the thing is when, let's go here. Are you there? You're live on Fade to Black. No. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Steve.
Hey,
Jimmy, how's my brother from another mother?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing okay, my friend. I'm calling you from the East Coast out here around New York.
Right on. What's on your mind?
I don't know. I was on your show there a couple of years ago, about a year and a half there. I told you there that back in 2011 that I had woken up in the morning and had seen through what I call the vortex, the alien up in the ceiling. You remember that by any chance?
Steve, I've had
the orange eyes. The orange eyes.
I do remember that. How you doing? Everything good?
Okay. I'm doing okay, buddy, but about a month ago, I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and looked up to my left, and there was 2 round light rings. They were round. They were like rings, about 12 to 14 inches in diameter. 2 of them, they were about 3 feet apart, and they did a perfect square at the same time. They went around in a perfect square, and then boom, they were gone.
Wow. What do you think happened?
I don't know. I have no idea. I felt a little sluggish. I'll be honest, I pretty much went back to sleep. Man, I'll tell you, I'm wondering if I'm having some kind of visitation. I know I'm having visitation.
Right.
What bothers me is I don't ever have any memories of being on a ship or anything like that. But those same orange eyes that I saw on Tuesday morning back in 2011, in fact, it was August 16th at 5:30. Never forget the date. I think it's the same thing I saw when I was 3 years old at our old house up there in the Falls. My mom was sick. My dad went to work. He worked at Nabisco, and he worked midnights. And I remember him telling me, that my mom had the flu, leave her alone. Well, that's the first time I ever heard the word flu. I didn't know what it meant.
Right.
So I get out of my bed, and I was going to go see how Mom was doing. I walked out my door, and to the left was this dark black thing. It looked like a panther or an ant that was standing up, and it had orange eyes. And I thought that's what it meant to have the flu. I thought that was my mother.
Right.
Okay. So I got scared. I turned around, I ran in bed, and that was the end of it. So I'll tell you, buddy, I have seen some things, and sometimes I wonder if I got maybe an implant or something in me. I always wanted to be on a ship, the last couple of years, but this is weird.
Yeah, what do you think is going on? And see, what I find interesting in hearing about your experiences is this: we hear so much from not only callers on this show, but guests on this show, my own personal experiences, and we hear this over and over again. Look, Steve, you don't sound crazy to me, right? You don't sound crazy to me. I'm
54. I got nothing to Nothing to lose. I don't want any fame. I'm not looking for any kind of publicity.
Right.
None of that stuff.
Right. And what do you think is going on? I feel that there's something going on.
All right. I'll be honest with you. I've never really talked too much about this before because it involves another person. My grandmother on my mom's side of the family was never, ever supposed to have any children. Okay, it would have been, she was born in 46, so it would have been 45-ish. Now, we live right over here by Lake, Ontario, in the Niagara River, that area, if you're familiar.
Right.
All right, my grandmother wasn't supposed to be able to have children. All of a sudden, bam, she got pregnant and had my mom. Okay, and then she couldn't have any more after that. They adopted my aunt. Okay, and they, obviously the rest is history. And then I was born. I think they were coming that night when I was 3 years old to check up on me or check my mother because she was pregnant at the time with my younger brother. Okay, who was 3 years younger than me. Now, this is what's going to 1996. I was single. I was living in an apartment here in the Falls. And I woke up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and my body was locked up, just like it was in 2011. Only that time, I couldn't open my eyes, but I could hear people around me, and I remember being scared to death. Okay, and then I fell back asleep, or got up, took a piss, went back to sleep. And I was with a girl that I met at the bar. And I knew her because she had dated friends of mine from years ago. So I knew her growing up from school. She couldn't have children. Okay. We were together 3 days later. She got pregnant. We have a son together, and she has never, ever to this day tried she's always tried to have more children, never been able to have kids.
Wow.
I think they stepped in and did something to help her get pregnant like they did my grandmother. I feel, it's my personal feelings, they're here to help us. I really do. I don't think it's negative. I think they're here to help us. I really do.
I do too, Steve. And I have 1,000 reasons to say that. The most obvious one is you and I are sitting here talking on the phone. If they were able to do that, if they wanted to, stop things or take this planet or do it, it would have been done. You and I would not be here now. And that's the obvious. Yeah. That's the
we wouldn't
obvious.
even know it. We'd be in some lolly computer gizmo thing.
Wouldn't even know it. Wouldn't even know it. And if they, I had Isaac Arthur on the show a couple of weeks ago, and I'll have him on Coast on Sunday. But he said one thing that I thought was fascinating. They wouldn't even need to. I'm talking about ET. If they wanted to take us out and they are approaching, our solar system and approaching Earth, at a very high rate of speed, half of the speed of light, whatever, all they would have to do is let their garbage go and then stop the ship. And the garbage impacting this planet at that speed, it wouldn't be a bomb. It wouldn't be a laser. It would be their trash. Would be the most, it would be over. And,
wow, exactly.
And we would not know that it happened. We would not know. It would just be over. It just like that. We wouldn't even know. No warning, no nothing. It would just be over. So
when 2011, when I woke up that morning, when I saw that in my ceiling, when he finally released me, when he went away, for 2 days, I was never so relaxed in my life. It was like whatever they did, and they must have done something to me to prevent me from having a heart attack.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, for 2 straight days, I was never so relaxed and felt so good in my life. Now, later on that night, when we walked into the supermarket about 6 o'clock, my wife and myself, as soon as I walked in through the door, I felt like I was going to start elevating straight up in the air.
Wow.
Now, if they were going to hire us, they wouldn't do that to you. They wouldn't do that to me.
That's right. That's right. And you wouldn't have a positive vibe.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a positive vibe. You would feel negative. You would feel anxiety. You wouldn't feel correct.
It bothers me when I see people on TV and they say, it's gloom and doom. I don't think it is. I really don't.
Well, there could be those out there that want doom and gloom, but and I'm talking about E.T., we're visited by thousands of different civilizations. There isn't one specific E.T. race that is visiting here. There's many. And I think that they are talking to each other out there. They have been for thousands, if not millions of years. And they know about this planet and this planet and this planet. And I don't think that, some type of, let's take over a planet, blow it up, and move on, some kind of, burn as you go situation. I just don't think that that's the way that they operate. If there are those out there that want to do that, they're prevented from doing that. How do you progress the universe? And this, how do you progress if you're burning everything down and ruining everything? There's no way to advance. And those civilizations out there, I'll make this really quick. There are civilizations out there that the only way that they are advanced is that they aren't killing themselves. They are able to survive and to move on. That's it. I always go back to the band analogy. Let's go back to Mick Jagger, right? You know how the Rolling Stones have succeeded and are still together today? They didn't break up. Right? And so how do you succeed as an ET race, as an advanced civilization? Well, you keep it together. That's what you do.
You take care of each other.
You take care of each other. And that's my take. And with that, I got to take a break, man. Thank you for the phone call, though.
Thank you for taking my call, buddy. You have a great night, man. Always listening.
Thank you so much. And that's a great phone call. And I totally, for me, where I'm coming from in all of this, I've said it so many times, and I'll say it over and over and over again. That's the way that we need to operate here. It's a situation where you've got to keep the band together. You learn, you gather knowledge, and you're cool with each other. And that's what you do, and that's how you progress. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Going to take our last break before we go into this last segment. It's Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Stay with me. I'll be right back. More of your phone calls after this short break. Stay with me.
To my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter. But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and my family is safe because of Numana Emergency Food Storage. Just go to the Numana banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code Jimmy10.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JMChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right. I'm back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the phone system here because nothing really wants to pick up. So I'm going to try to do this. Let's go here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Not there. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Not there. This is what's going on, everybody. Okay. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? All these calls are on hold, everybody, and they are just like transferring into the netherworld. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? It's just unreal. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Oh.
Good evening, Mr. Church. This is Andy. How are you?
Hi, Andy. How are you?
A little nervous, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Why are you nervous?
We're going to discuss some things that started happening to me from childhood, and I still have some PTSD from it, and it's a little nerve-wracking for me, and I think that you'll come to understand why once we start down that road.
Okay, well, let's start.
My first memory of this experience that I've been having lifelong, it's a very quick, vivid memory, but I'm very small. I'm lying on my back, face up. There's extremely bright white light all around, and all I can see is 3 or 4 shadows that are darting around me. I can't see the outline of anything. The second vivid memory I have is a little bit more involved, and it involved me. This time I'm lying down on my stomach, and my head's turned to the right, and my aunt is sitting on a chair or something like a chair in front of where my head is at. She's maybe like 4 or 5 feet away, and she kind of has a blank stare about her. She has her hands on her knees, and I don't recall being restrained by anything. I just know that I couldn't move, and that I couldn't talk or make any noise. And then behind my aunt is approximately 10 to 12 adults in varying sizes, lined up next to each other. I don't recognize any of who these people are, but they're just standing still. They're not moving, and they just have blank stares on their face. And I know in one of the emails I sent to you, I sent a drawing that I made of a machine that I called Noisy as a young boy. And I always heard Noisy before I actually saw it. And the best noise that would describe the sound that it would make, and I actually emailed you a link, would be like handheld egg beaters. And I was deathly afraid of this thing because it floated in the air. It wasn't attached to anything. And this device would always go over towards my back. I never felt any pain. I never felt it prick me or cut me. But as a young child, I always literally thought that this thing was going to either cut me in half or drill a hole all the way through me from my back through my stomach. And I literally thought I was going to die. Obviously that didn't happen, but that's what I was thinking and believing. And I had tremendous anger at my aunt because she was just sitting there with like this blank stare, and I was begging and pleading inside my mind for her to help me and for her to, stop whatever was about to happen. I don't know what happened after that. That's the last thing I remember. I've never wanted to do any regression with Yvonne on some of this stuff, just because when we do, it's very traumatic for me and it's very difficult. Jumping forward, I'm going to guess those memories are from about 4 or 5.
Okay.
And I'm 48, and they're still with me to this day. We lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, and I had nightmares every single night. And when my mother and stepfather tried to put me to bed, it was literally war, because every single night I absolutely believed I wasn't going to wake up. I thought I was going to die. My mother and father almost got a divorce. Our stepfather got a divorce because of this. I had to see a pediatrician and go on some type of medication to help sedate me at night. I would crawl on the floor to try and sneak into my parents' bedrooms to sleep underneath their beds or underneath their bed, and they would have to check multiple times underneath their bed to ensure that I wasn't there. I was very sick. I had a lot of nosebleeds. I had to get my tonsils out. I had to get tubes put in my ears. And this was all between the ages of like 6 and 7. And basically this is where I was discussing, where I said ho and noisy. We've already discussed noisy a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ho was basically what you would you have a picture that I sent you of Ho, your typical gray alien. And basically this is, and I know it happened once, at least once. I'm not saying that it happened every night. I don't know how many times it happened, but it happened enough that literally I had the same reoccurring fear, vivid dream memory every single night when I would go to bed. And basically what would happen is I would wake up and I'd be lying face up on my bed. I would be unable to move. Again, I felt like I was in molasses. I felt like there was something in my throat. And I was not allowed to sleep with the night light on. There was no lights on in our apartment, so it was very, very dark, black. The only light was the ambient light from that came from my one-bedroom window. And I would see out of the side corner of my door the peripheral or the outline of a small black being that was facing down the hallway, not looking in my bedroom, but just there. You would just kind of be, part of him was there.
All right.
And he would make a crisp 90-degree military turn very, very quickly and be facing me. And I would close my eyes. And when I would open my eyes, his face would be inches from me. And I would be staring into this endless abyss of these big black eyes and just be absolutely terrified and enthralled all at the same time. There was no verbal communication between the two of us or any type of telepathy. And I would just be totally enticed and at the same time appalled at this thing looking at me so closely.
Andy, let me jump in real quick, and then I want you to continue. This, I want to understand, is this an actual real-time experience, or are you asleep?
No, I'm actually awake.
This is a real-time physical situation.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I want the audience to understand what you're going through. Okay, so continue.
And somehow I would get rolled over onto my stomach all in one motion. I didn't feel any hands grabbing me. I only saw Ho. And I'm not saying that was this person's name. That is the name that, I don't know where I came up with that name, but that's what I called him. And I would feel my pajama bottoms kind of get pulled down, and the upper top of my pajamas get pulled up to expose my back. And then I would hear Noisy coming down the hall, and he would come into my bedroom, this machine that was floating in the air. And I'm not even sure if I'm in my bedroom anymore. I'm literally dying inside as a young boy. I think I'm about to die. Mm-hmm. And this thing would go over by my back, and that was it. I passed out. I was at my limit as a human being. I couldn't take anything more. When I would awake, it would always be dawn in the morning, not quite light, but not quite dark. And I knew I was safe. I knew I had made it through the night.
Was there anything physical, any markings or anything on your back?
I don't know, because as I've mentioned numerous times, I didn't know anything about aliens or UFOs. I went to Catholic parochial school 1st through 8th grade. I had nuns as teachers, and I went to Catholic high school in 9th and 10th grade. So I put all of this into the context of heaven or hell.
Right.
It wasn't until maybe I got into 7th or 8th grade that I kind of somehow started hearing about UFOs and things like that. And there was some variations on these memories. Sometimes I was able to get close to my parents' bedroom and I'd be crawling on the floor. and something would grab me by the ankles and just I wasn't hurt, but I would get yanked really, really quick back into my bedroom. I also know that once I went to sleep with all of my blankets over me, thinking that somehow this was going to protect me. And I'm sure you've done this. Maybe you've washed some sheets and you put them in the dryer, and then you're making your bed, and you kind of whip out the sheets, and it kind of makes that snapping sound.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my sheets and blankets got ripped off of me all at once, making that kind of like snapping sound, kind of like if you got like a wet towel and you were trying to whip somebody.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it got so bad that my stepfather came in the middle of one night and picked me up and shook me very, very violently, and basically was, basically saying, you need to fucking go to sleep. You're driving us crazy. And I was crying, and my mom was begging him to put me down. And he came in the next morning. He apologized. I knew that he felt bad, but I couldn't tell him. I didn't have any context or vocabulary to describe to my stepfather and my mother what was going on. They only knew that I had these things called Hohenloisy that would scare me to death. And they told me they talked to their friends that had children, and of course their friends' children had nightmares, but it wasn't anywhere near as bad as I had it.
Let me ask you, Andy, let me clarify a few things. Was this out in the country? Did you have neighbors? Is this in a city or a suburb?
No, it was in a suburb. It was very close to a city.
Okay, so you had neighbors in close proximity.
Yes, I did. We lived in an apartment, so there was people that lived above us.
And was there, you're a kid on the streets, right? You're going to school, playground, you're hanging out, the house, the neighbors. Was anybody else talking about anything strange going on? Did anybody see anything?
If they did, they never shared it with us, and I don't believe my parents shared anything with them. They were probably more embarrassed than anything, because I'm sure they had to hear me crying every night and the arguing and whatnot, and they probably wanted to kind of keep it on the down low.
How often did this happen? Was it once a week? Was it every night? Was it once a month?
I can't tell you actually how many times that happened. All I know is that every single night it was like this. Every single night. My mother and stepfather almost came close to getting a divorce because he was at his wit's end. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, so he was the one that was going to work, and he was having difficulty going to work because he would be tired fighting with me every night to go to sleep in my bedroom.
Right.
When my stepfather passed away unexpectedly 4 years ago, and that's when this whole thing started, I felt like I had permission to talk about this with my mom. And this was one of those things like during the years, during family gatherings at Christmas or Thanksgiving, someone would bring up my mom or dad. Oh, you remember when Tony had those really bad nightmares and there was that thing called Hohenloisy? And it was kind of like a family joke, but
Andy, I'm just going to let you know you just slipped with your real name, so I'm just going to let you know you let that slip.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's
go
back to Andy. Nobody heard that. Andy. Yeah, nobody heard that. Okay. See, you're getting comfortable now, which is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so but back to the family gatherings. You're 49 now. 4 years ago, your stepfather passed away. Now you're comfortable enough to go back and talk to your mom about it. How old is your mom today?
Well, my mom is 15 years older than me because, as I told you before, she had me when she was 15. So
15.
she's what?
65. Okay.
65.
And so now you're going back. Let's go back 4 years ago after your stepfather passed away, and you started to talk to your mom about this. What did you guys talk about? And was she cool in talking about it? What did she remember?
She remembered all of it, and what she told me gave me the courage to move forward and maybe think that I wasn't crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that her and my dad would talk about this from time to time, maybe once or twice a year. And they said amongst themselves there was something really strange and profound happened during that time, and that if they knew what they knew now, and this is what my mom said, and this is what really just allowed me to go forward to where I'm at today. She told me, she said, if we knew what we knew back then, we would have handled things differently. And I'm not saying that my mom was referencing anything about alien abduction or UFOs, but my mom and dad were basically kids trying to raise a little boy.
Right.
So they didn't have a lot of experience or knowledge. And I have a half brother and half sister through my stepfather. So they've had some experience in raising them. And she said she just said it was a really, really, really tough time for them, and they wish they would have handled things differently. And I know that I have kids, and my son is graduating high school this year, and I have a 10-year-old daughter. I do allow them to sleep with their bedroom lights on. They can have as many lights as they want on.
That's right.
My son slept with me and my wife in bed until he was 9. Now he sleeps by himself. My daughter, who's 10, slept with us in bed until she was about 9. Now she takes out her trundle bed and moves it next to our bed. And I'm totally okay with that, because I would never want my kids have to go through what I went through as a young boy, because it was tough. And here's the strange thing, and we've talked about this. When I saw the daylight, a little bit of the daylight in the morning, and I knew I was safe, I forgot about everything. I didn't even think about it once during the day. It wasn't until it was time for me to go to bed, then I started thinking about Ho and Noisy coming to visit me.
Right.
And one of the things, all these little nuances and synchronicities, and you've kind of have seen that, how you were in Tempe at the same time I was at ASU.
Right.
And how I came across that video with Kurt Russell and the Phoenix Lights.
Right.
One of the things that I always had difficulty with is, if you look at that drawing that I sent to you, is Ho is very dark colored, almost black.
Right.
And I had a hard time with that in the beginning, because everybody else was reporting something, creatures usually that weren't black. I really didn't find anything. They were usually white or kind of gray colored or something like that. Well, I happened to come across the Cometa report, which I'm sure you know what that is.
I have it, yes.
It's a report that was prepared by the government of France regarding what would be the implications of confirmation that extraterrestrials have been visiting the Earth. Well, there's a report in there from August 29th, 1967, involving 2 small children that had an encounter, and they encountered 4 small black beings in front of this object. When I read that, I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. I'm seeing your typical gray alien, but these guys were black, like my Ho is black. Fast forward to about 2 years ago, and I'm getting involved with Yvonne, or 3 years ago, and I'm learning about John Mack, Bud Hopkins, Mary Rodwell, Barbara Lamb. And I learned about this famous mass sighting in Zimbabwe. And I'm assuming, or maybe you've heard of it, the Ariel School phenomena.
Yeah, absolutely.
That happened in Zimbabwe.
Yes, yes, yes.
And when I watched John Mack talk with these children and saw their drawings, all of their beings were black. And I was just like, okay, I'm not the only one. Because even though I was an adult and I was kind of moving on, there was still that part of me that felt like maybe I did have a demon or something that was visiting me, because I was still kind of putting this up in the context of heaven or hell. But once I got those two confirmations from two different sources, then I realized that that he probably was back, or whatever kind of suit that he was wearing gave him the appearance as being black. And it's just, it's well, now you understand why when I talk to people and I say it hasn't been all that fun or exciting for me.
Right. And Andy, we're at the end of the show, obviously, tonight, and we'll continue this again. We'll do our next installment next Thursday. And see, this is what you need to do, though. Oh, you can do whatever you want, but our community is here for you. And I'm watching Twitter, and everybody's going, how can I get a hold of Andy? He can come and hang out with us. He need, what's his Twitter handle and so forth. So, these resources are available to you. But until then, until next Thursday, just be safe and be well. I have so many questions, but I just want you to open up, because I'm just sitting here, listening and absorbing all of this. You've went through a lot, and I think your story is extraordinary, and I just thank you for having the courage to open up on this show and share with everybody what you went through, because always remember, you're not the only one, and there are many that are listening right now going, you know what, I get it, I went through that too as well, and thank you, because it's comforting for everybody else, and it helps you too as well, to open up and share with this. But I want to thank you for that, for having the courage to come forward.
Well, I appreciate that, and I will definitely call you next Thursday, Mr. Church, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Andy. Behave and be well, okay? And come and hang out with me. I'll be over on Coast to Coast Saturday and Sunday. All right? All right?
Awesome. All right.
All right, Andy. Thank you so much, man. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
What a great phone call. And I truly mean that. Thank you for that, Andy. I truly mean that. Having the courage to come and hang out. There you go. All right. Now, I've got to run. I got a boogie. And I want to say that I did watch the video today that C.W. Chanter did live on YouTube. I have reached out to Corey for a statement on it. And when I get a response back from Corey, and if he wants me to read something to the community or tag me back on it, I will share it with all of you, and I'll do that on Monday. Okay? And with that, I'm going to get out of here. What a great Fader night tonight. The phones were just acting funky. Let me explain to you. When I have 10 or 15 calls on hold, some of them were like binding to the other, like they were conference calls or something, and they were together, but they weren't separating, and I couldn't get them to do that. And I don't even know why they didn't do that last week. Everything is fine. But tonight, it was just the way that things were running. Very bizarre. And I thought that I had the whole phone system here sussed out. Apparently, I do not. I don't know. It was weird. And then I would just go click through 8 of them, and then one would go live. Luckily, that last one that went live was Andy. Andy, thank you so much for that. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA, The Planet. It's broadcast owned and copyrighted 2019 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I'll see everybody Saturday night over on Coast to Coast AM. Until then, everybody be safe. Go Beckley Tepe.